Okay, we should be live now. I'm going to make sure the volume's all good. Got to get this set up in Discord, and then we will begin weeks 5 and 6. Audio sounds good. All right, now we're good. What is going on, everybody? How we doing? We are, in fact, having a day today. Okay, so which game won? Because there might be a tie. There is a tie between the Jaguars and Vikings and the Wizards and Shamrocks. So for our tiebreaker, we're going to do what we did last time. Everybody in the stream gets to pick one. So if you want to watch the Jaguars and the Vikings, type in Derrick Henry. If you want to watch Wizards and Shamrocks, type in Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, I'm going to vote for my game, so my vote is for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is Jags Vikings. This game, Wizards and Shamrocks, is Patrick Mahomes. We have watched the Wizards this year. We have watched the Vikings this year, but we have not watched the Jags or the Shamrocks. So with that, it's even. Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry, Patrick Mahomes, Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry, Mahomes, Mahomes, Mahomes. It seems like Derrick Henry has the advantage. So as of now, Jags Vikings is in the league. What would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 6, 4. We just watched the Vikings. We also just watched the Wizards, though. We just watched the Vikings week 3, but we saw the Wizards week 4. Although, every Wizards game is always super exciting. I will say that. But it looks like Vikings-Jags has the slight advantage. The Shamrocks suck. The Shamrocks are 2-2. They're not that bad. Both games are a 3-1 team versus a 2-2 team, so that's even as well. Shamrock is considering retirement. A Shamrock? Oh, right there, a locker room calling it quits. Who could it be? Who on their team is old? Laken Tomlinson? I mean, he's 32. He's not even that old. Here, now I'm kind of curious. Nick said Derrick Henry. He voted for our game, not this game. So it's 6-4. Is it Laken Tomlinson? Oh, it's Ronnie. Ronnie Stanley's not even on their team. Look, he's in a Wizards jersey. Ronnie Stanley just got traded to the Wizards. That's so funny. They're having a scenario with somebody on a different team. On the team that they're playing against today, no less. So Ronnie Stanley just got traded from Dublin to the Wizards. And now Ronnie Stanley's telling his old coach, who he's about to play against, that he wants to retire. That is too funny. Hit to his ratings. Oh, that's good news for Dublin, because they're playing against Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley's not even that old. He's like 30. Hold on. Let me see this. He's like 30. Yeah, he's 30 years old. That's not even that old. So he's now a 90. He's still quite good, but he loses 10 to run block power and pass block power. Well, that's quite a start. We're 5 minutes into the stream, and we have players on other teams asking for retirements. Okay, so it looks like the Jags-Vikings game has won, so we'll ask Siri for a user. Who's home? We're home. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 2. Siri is selected 2. So the Vikings are the user, but I'll get my other controller set up so Pepper Jack can also pick his jerseys. I'm a little bit scared to what Derrick Henry's going to do to us because the past 2 games... Hold on. I want to see Derrick Henry's numbers the past 2 games because he's been a machine. Meme of the year. That might be in the running. It's only week 5, and I feel like we have a bunch of candidates for Meme of the Year already, which is a good problem to have. Here, I need to see what Henry's done the last 2 weeks because he's been an animal. 128-3, 229-3. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried. He's like Najee Harris, but on steroids. So hopefully Najee Harris can do well today. Okay, I got the other controller on. The echo shouldn't be there. So, Pepper Jack, which jerseys do you want to wear? Yeah, have fun. I'm not excited to play Derrick Henry today. I'm not. I have a bad feeling about this. Although we shut down Nick Chubb in week 3, so who's to say we can't do it again? All black. Would that be their alternate jersey? Their home jersey is the teal one now. Right? Oh, no, the home jersey is the black one. I thought they made the teal jersey their home one. Okay, then. Never mind. I'm going to do... Why don't we do all purple? All purple versus all black. Terry just re-signed to the Washingtons. The Washingtons, plural? That's a new one. But, yeah, good for Washington. They brought back a good player. Who we're going to see today, because he's on the Vikings. So Jacksonville opens up with the ball. We get to see C.J. Stroud, Derrick Henry, and the Jacksonville offense. The offense is certainly the strength. Why are they wearing teal? Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay. Maybe the Jags won't start with the ball. All right, take 2. Hopefully they actually let the Jaguars wear black this time. Yeah, all the schemes and playbooks are officially updated, so they're all good. Okay, let's try this again. Will you actually wear black? That's not black. Oh, it glitched. The home jersey is teal. I was right. Okay. There we go. Yeah, the positions, the depth chart, all of that should be fully good. Isaiah Wynn is starting. Should have said let him retire. Yeah, but that's not fair to the Wizards. They just traded 3 picks for him. If Ronnie Stanley had retired, I probably would have given the picks back. But that would have been really funny. That'd be like quite the veto. Are the Jags actually wearing black this time? They should be. Okay, so it looks like the Jags are going to start off with the ball again. Yeah, they are wearing black. Can this game go easy on me today? No, Madden never will do that. Stanley, yeah, he wants to go to a new team, which he did. Why not the Shamrocks game? Because this game got more votes. So here's C.J. Stroud, who hasn't been very good this year. Only 3 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. The Jags are certainly a run-first team, led by Big 22, Derrick Henry. Yeah, maybe Stanley got traded, and that's what's making him retire. Although, why wouldn't you want to play for Orlando? You get to block for Patrick Mahomes. The Wizards are 3-1. They're a good team. Nick and Andrew said he wanted to watch the Shams game. Should have been 5. Then it would have been a tie again. I don't know what we would have done there, but we haven't gotten to watch the Jaguars recently, so it's fair. We get to see Jacksonville. And we'll certainly see Dublin at some point this year. He asked Siri. I didn't ask Siri. I voted for my team. Stroud is the worst QBR of the start. I think you're right about that. Obviously, it's 4 weeks, so that could change, but he hasn't been good so far as he starts at a 3-0. Yeah, every vote counted. I don't think I missed any. He's in the bubble, that's why. Stuck in a bubble, poor guy. Maybe his heart is in Dublin. Maybe. I don't know why you'd rather live in Dublin than Orlando, though. If you're playing in an American football league, don't you want to live in America? Particularly, I guess there's a lot of crazy people in Florida, like Apple, so I guess I can't really blame them. Oh, what a punt! Down at the 9. Octi's dumb for thinking Cardinals Huskies is better than... How do I think that game is better? That game just has more votes. I think both games are interesting. That's why I put them both on the poll. But the Huskies and Cardinals got more votes. And I'm not going to override it because that's not fair. That's abusing my powers. The whole point of the vote is so the viewers can pick the game. If the Browns and Commies got the most votes, that'd be the game we would be watching. Well, it was fun having all 32 taken. Well, we had all 32 teams taken after, like, 2 days. So if you do want to seriously retire Denmark, since you technically did create Dan, you can make Dan your user player now, if you do actually want to retire. Since Dan probably won't have a second contract during the actual OFL, it technically doesn't really matter, but... if you want him to be your user player, you can do that. Nothing would change about Dan himself, but now he's a user. If, that is, Denmark makes sure he wants to coach. I mean, he's going to be in your division regardless. Dan, that is. So, that doesn't really change much in terms of how good Dan is. Did I just call him Damn? You should do a 10-year sim, like on the last day of Madden 12. So I think what we're going to do, we're not going to be done OFL 22 by the time Madden 23 comes out. Obviously, I'm still going to do my regular Madden 23 stuff on the main channel, but as that starts, we're still going to be finishing OFL 22. And then, just like last year, I will have a long-term sim at the end. So, you'll take over the 49ers and Cardinals. That sounds like a great idea. So the Jags have the football, fully prepared for some like 80-yard run by Derrick Henry at some point. I know it's going to happen. Arizona was your formal team. You'll take over them with Cleveland. How about I get Arizona? And my challenge is I have to make 2 teams go to the NFC Championship or else I'm a fraudulent coach. That'd be kind of fun. That wouldn't be fair, but it'd be fun. Who's better, A.J. Brown or Mike Williams? Definitely A.J. Brown. Mike Williams is cool, but in terms of Madden, it probably is still A.J. Brown. But in real life, it's definitely A.J. Brown. We should spoof it up next year to the fantasy draft autoed, then sim 10 years. I'm not opposed to doing something like that. I'm not opposed to like doing something a little bit different for OFL 23, which we might want to talk about when we get closer, but I'm not opposed to changing it up. I imagine people are still going to want a fantasy draft, which makes sense. But I'm not opposed to like doing a fantasy draft and then like simming in the future. Maybe not 10 years, but maybe like 3 or 4. So that way we can get the exciting free agencies sooner. No one wants to watch you coach 2 teams. That'd be an experiment, though. That'd be quite the experiment. What if we pick like 5 rounds and sim? Maybe we would do less, but I feel like 5 isn't enough. I feel like we'd have to do at least like 15. If you was in Madden, what would your overall be? Probably like a 20, because I'm not very good at football. I don't think I'm as good of a football player as anybody in the game, so probably a 20. I wonder what position I'd be. I always thought I could be a pretty good corner, although you don't find many white corners, so that would make it kind of hard for me. I feel like my rating would automatically go down because of that. So maybe I should be a punter. There, that way I don't have to be athletic or big. Would it be a better kicker or a punter, though? I don't think I'd be a launch snapper, because part of being a launch snapper is blocking. And obviously, I'm like a foot smaller than some of those. Maybe not a foot, but I'm almost a foot smaller than those guys and like a good 150 pounds. Octi would be a 42, because that's his height, 4'2". Yeah, no. Who the hell is Will Hardy? I don't know. I only heard about him 5 minutes ago. Launch snap. Yeah, but, I mean, yeah, they do. Once a launch snapper snaps the ball, they have to block the guys towards the middle of the line of scrimmage. They don't get touched before they snap the ball. Imagine if we did 1 round and then the rest simmed. Then you really got to be strategic with your picks. Everyone's going to be drafting their quarterbacks. And then I can get Myles Garrett again at like 20. And just say, who cares about QB? Yeah, but no one lines right in front of a launch snapper, but once he snaps it, he can block people. Nice sack for Mr. Khalil Mack. Gotta be a racist hire. Is he white? I mean, the Jazz in Utah, you know, I mean, some of those people are a little bit, you know, how do I say it? Racist. There you go. Minnesota has no points. Jacksonville also has no points. How is that racist? Because there's a lot of racist people in Utah, and the coach they got apparently is white. You don't know if you should... I mean, you can take your time and think about it. What's wrong with white people? Oh, no, it's a joke. That's the whole point. It probably isn't racist, but, I mean, you know, Boston and Utah are two of the more racist places and racist fan bases in the league. There I say. Do about 10 rounds of the fantasy draft, sim 3 years to get the interesting free agency, and make it so the teams are even more random. I'm not opposed to doing something like that. You draft half of your team, and then we simulate 3 years so we get the fun free agencies. I don't mind doing something like that. That's not a bad idea. Once we get closer, I'd probably do a vote, just so I could do what the majority of people want. But I don't mind that idea. I kind of do want to change it up a little bit this year. Because the first 2 years we did a fantasy draft, and the last 2 years we've done a fantasy draft and a sim year. So I'm not opposed to simming more years, and maybe doing less rounds. Relocation still would be an option, yeah. Relocation, I'm 99% sure that'll be back next year. I see no reason not to bring it back. I'm probably going to do what I did last year with relocation to make sure the same teams can't be used. So, like, you can't relocate to become the same teams this year, like the Pioneers or the Bats or all the other teams who have joined the league. And you can't relocate the teams who were relocated this year, like the Cowboys, the Steelers, who else is relocated? The Titans. So it's not like a big switch, but it's something small. Change it up. We force Hector to take Greg Dortch. Hector would want that. Why would that be forced? I don't even know if Greg Dortch is in the game, though. That's a problem. Packers, Bengals, yeah, all those guys. Those teams would be back. Imagine if I chose to be the Packers 1 year in OFL. I would never do that, but imagine if I did just for the memes. That'd be funny for like 5 minutes, and then it'd be like, why did I give myself the Packers? What if I just meme and take Greg Dortch? That really wouldn't surprise me. The Texans are another team who relocated this year, so that's another option. Yeah, everybody in the AFC South relocated except for the Jags, right? Because you got the Tigers, you got the Wizards, and you got the Bison. Yeah, so all those teams except for the Jags. Rebrand to the Toronto Hectors. That's not a thing. So, choose to be the Cowboys. I almost picked the Cowboys this year. But then I was like, I don't really like them. But I actually thought about it. At one point, I had myself penciled in as the Cowboys. We should start in the offseason of the last year of this current OFL, so we send that many years. That's an interesting idea. I think we would start with the super big free agency, though. I don't think the first offseason I'd want to be like the really big free agency, but I would want that sooner. Nick had me, yeah, same thing, because Nick and I both did the teams. So, yeah, Nick had me at the Cowboys, and I thought about it. So, I was the Cowboys for like a week. The great thing about being part of the committee that chooses teams is that you get your first pick. Malik Willis heaves up a prayer, and it is caught by a wide-open receiver, Terry McLaurin, for an 80-yard touchdown. And the Minnesota Vikings are on the board first. That was a beautiful throw. The Imagine OFL without a Hector. Yeah, we would all have more brain cells. Imagine the OFL of Created Team came back. That'd be awesome. I don't know exactly how we would do that, but that'd be a lot of fun. But I don't know if Madden's bringing that back anytime soon. McLaurin gets paid in real life, and he makes a play here. There you go. I have no idea who I want to be next. I don't know if I want to relocate or not relocate. I haven't even thought about that. I remember last year people were thinking about OFL 22 in like February, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Now that we're almost in July, this is probably the time where we start to think about it a little bit. What if we do OFL and NCAA when that comes out next year? That's an interesting idea. That'd be kind of hard with like recruiting and stuff, but I'll leave the door open. Here's that. We'll leave the door open. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to be the Packers. I'll consider every other team, but not Green Bay. Yuck. Want to relocate to the Metropolis Bulldogs. Well, they're not in the game. You got the London Bulldogs, but the Metropolis Bulldogs aren't a thing. In Madden. Khalil Mack with his second sack of the game. He's looking pretty good. Will Tadion get drafted my hoodster? I don't think I've ever been called that before. I think he's like an 85, so probably not in NCAA, because 85, that's like right on the border of getting picked. But if he's good enough as a senior, then maybe he'll get drafted at Madden. Did they ever call it Connected Dynasty? Because I know when like NCAA 14 came out, Madden's franchise was called Connected Career. But I don't think it was ever Corrected Dynasty. I might be wrong about that. Gonna relocate for the first time. Fun. Fun. The NCAA game that comes out will be a lot easier for the guy who makes draft classes. Hopefully you'll be able to import draft classes. I don't know how that would work, but I know they had that in NCAA 14 with Madden 25. I don't know if that still works, but that'd be nice if they brought that back. That'd be a lot easier for OFL and like my actual Madden series. That'd be like perfect. And we can watch college prospects. That'd be fun. I'm going to be the Mexico Tacos. That's not a thing. I think the Mexico teams are the Diablos. They won't be eligible because they've been in the league 2 years in a row because Madden messed that one up. And I think the other teams are the Golden Eagles and the Conquistadors. So you could be one of them. And since like what I did with Boomy this year, since he's Canadian, I let him get first dibs on Canada. So I'd probably let you get first dibs on the Mexico teams. That should have been intercepted. You don't know what Madden wants from you? That is a good question. Probably your soul. The Armadillos, I think, are they Austin? I think it's the Austin Armadillos. 3rd and 8, nice conversion for, who's 11? Kerry McCoy, the rookie. Is Hector going to get fire clips next year for the draft classes? Well, if Hector's a coach, Hector can't be a player. Oh, wow, we're already at the 2-minute warning. Minnesota leads 7-0, but the Jags have it in the red zone looking to score. Apple, no one asked. I mean, Cobra's team isn't that bad. Jordan Love's a good player in Sem. They're 2-2 this year, so they haven't been bad too so far. And average NFC East, who had 3 playoff teams last year, but I still feel like all 3 of those other teams are kind of questionable. You should get first dibs on the Eastern Hemisphere. The Eastern Hemisphere is in, like, of the world or of the country? Because that's, like, different. Thinking of, wow, that's a lot of teams. Apple was a Mullins-sexual. That is true. Octi needs to show Hector dunking on a bum for the Sonics draft classes. Can Hector dunk, though? Yeah, that's literally like half the league. That's kind of a lot. You want to be the Mexicans? That's not a thing. Obviously the world. So that is just like Lublin, yes. London and Dublin. And I don't even know if they are in the Eastern Hemisphere. I know they're close. So it kind of counts. That's 10 teams. That's like close enough to have. It's like right on the border. Is that Terry again? 2/3 and a fifth gets you Trayvon. Wow, no way. I didn't know that. I'm an American, so I call dibs on the American teams. Well, you've got a lot of choices. You've got every team in the NFL and pretty much every relocation team. So I want Mullen. Oh boy, imagine if Apple trades him after all this. I can imagine Octi being 60 and OFL still being a thing. Imagine if that was still the case. That would be funny. Call dibs on Africa. Yeah, you do that. I don't think there are any African teams in Madden. Apple's gonna get the #1 overall pick. He's gonna have his choice of anybody in the league. I want Trayvon Mullen. Even if Mullen doesn't get picked until like the 5th round, I just want to make sure I get him. He's negotiating. Oh, Lord! Really hope there's new relocation. I feel like we would know if there was. So I'm not counting on it. So what? These have been the same relocation teams for, what, 10 years at this point, at least? Madden, when were they introduced? Madden 13? Madden 12? I know it was no later than Madden 25. So it has been a full decade with the same teams. EA said, really? I feel like I would have noticed that. I hope that's true. Please. Madden 12 was the last Madden with created team, so it probably would have been Madden 13. Madden 25 was the first one for the next gen, though, so it might have been that. The next gen is in the last gen, but same thing. It was next gen at the time. From what I played in the beta, there's no relocation teams. Fun. I mean, that's not a surprise. I'm not going to say I'm surprised by that. Madden 25. Yeah, I knew it was in that range. 25 or 13. So it's been pretty much a decade. A full decade. With pretty much no substantial changes to the mode. We've ran the ball twice today. This is just like the Niner game. We didn't give Najee the ball at all in the first half. And then in the second half, he popped off. Just read an article about beta. There's no new teams and no created teams. But it is only the beta. That is true. But I really would not count on them adding all that within a month and a half. Imagine if EJ just removes relocation after people wanting new teams. If they can remove relocation and add something good, then I'd be for it. How is Deshaun Watson in the MVP odds? Bro isn't going to play. Well, he hasn't been suspended yet. We don't need to see highlights. Come on, EA. I think the new free agency is going to be real good. That's for sure. That's like a legitimately good addition. Imagine if EA removes devs after people saying it's unfair. That would be real bad. Because then everybody develops the same way. That'd be horrible. Imagine if the Vikings lose this game. Well, we're only up by 7. It's not impossible. Oh, he almost caught that. Then it would be equal players and equal abilities. Yeah, that would be terrible. Please no. That wouldn't be fair, because then Patrick Mahomes develops the same way as 60 overall Joe Schmo out of Liberty. So that would be yuck. They added so much to free agency that no income tax is a factor. So you're saying I should pick one of the California teams next year? They don't have income tax. Is that Florida? I know it's one of those two. Yeah, no, it's Florida, not California. So I should pick the Dolphins. Yeah, that's not how the real-life NFL works. I don't think the first overall pick, Traylon Walker, is going to develop like Mr. Irrelevant. Joe Schmo is my quarterback. See, there you go. That's the spirit. Nite Nuti's hurt. Awesome. That's our starting left guard. Should get a Zen. What's a Zen? I don't know what that is. There was a timer for some players in free agency. Didn't they have that in like the old Madden games, like Madden 11, Madden 12? That, I hope there's a setting to turn that off, because we can't really have that in OFL. Yeah, add Joe Schmo to the next draft class with Patrick and Jack Jackson. I think the NFL, I think there's a real reason why Create a Team isn't in the game, and I don't think it's EA's fault. It's for the shooting meter. Well, how would you get that for a touchdown? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, Cooper Kupp develops the same way as Northwest Oregon State wide receiver Tyler Mitchell. I mean, Cooper Kupp went to Eastern Washington, so that's not that different. If he's from Liberty, he's better than everyone. Then why did Malik Willis go in the 3rd round? Add Ted Bundy to the draft class. That sounds like a great idea. I think Create a Team isn't in Madden because the NFL doesn't want players to have fun. Yeah, that sounds accurate. The NFL doesn't care about us. They don't want us to have fun. Every time you throw, it's a touchdown. Yeah, like how every time Hector throws, it's an interception. Is Octavius Gaming making a cameo appearance in OFL 23? I don't know. We'll see. Ted Cosby. Oh, boy, even better. In relations to William? If EA decided to limit trade assets to 1, why would they do that? Yeah, I don't think EA would do that, though. That wouldn't make sense. It should be more than 3, but they're not going to make it 1. That'd be stupid. Tom Brady develops the same way as Fat Susan. Exactly. That's why dev traits are needed. I wish there were more dev traits, to be honest. I feel like 4 isn't enough. I feel like it'd be better with like 6 or 7. As we get the touchdown, Najee Harris makes it a 14-point Minnesota lead. Our defense is playing really well today. Derrick Henry has not had the monster game, but I was kind of expecting he would. That was a 17-play drive. We had the ball for the entire quarter. 17 drives in over 7 minutes. EA eliminates trading, says can't complain about the system now if it's not there. Yeah, there you go. They could just eliminate franchise altogether. Can't complain about something that isn't there. It should add Chris P. Bacon to the draft class. I added the P. EA deletes Madden. Then EA just loses out on money. Like how we haven't even watched this game at all and just talking about Madden 23. Well, that's because Derrick Henry hasn't broken out a big run yet. Yeah, if EA got rid of franchise, they'd lose a ton of money. That'd be stupid. We're Arkansas quarterback Tamarjavius Williams V. What a stud. If EA uses Ultimate Team and deletes franchise mode, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them at this point. Just got here. What did you miss? This is the first game today. Minnesota currently leads 17-3 as Myles Garrett gets the sack to wrap up the 3rd quarter. OFL Hunger Games. EA should delete Ultimate Team. I don't disagree, but they would never do that because they need their money. I know people don't want microtransactions in franchise, and I would understand why, but honestly, I don't hate that idea because if it legitimately makes the mode better, then I would be okay with that. I know most people probably would disagree, and I get it, pay to win, but if that makes the mode better, then I personally wouldn't be against it. They should add an NBA 2K My Team, but that's what Ultimate Team is. EA should delete EA. I like the way you think, Denmark. I agree. Oh! Deep shot downfield, hauled into the 46. That's not McLaurin. Is that Ruggs? I thought he was hurt. Oh, I guess he's not hurt. I guess his injury was shorter than I realized. Paid $20 for an extra $20 million in caps. I mean, not really like that, but more so like other additions. Like, I don't know, more like relocation jersey options. Like, not necessarily something that gives your team an advantage, like cap space, but more like customization options. Like more equipment choices, more hairstyles, more relocation jerseys. I would personally be for that. Very exciting 3-day sleep, but what made it exciting? Wink, wink. Thought Ruggs was in prison. I have a lot of criminals on my team. Since you're newer, you don't really understand the meme, but I have a bunch of criminals on my team. And at first it was a coincidence, but I just kind of ran with it, so now I'm just trying to collect as many criminals as I can. I'm like Thanos with the Infinity Stones, but instead of Infinity Stones, I'm getting criminals. My legal team advised me not to tell you that. Our legal team is quite good for what it's worth. We have all these criminals who aren't getting suspended, so you could tell us something and it's not getting by. Where's Damon? Damon Arnett just got traded to the Shamrocks. So if you ever want to trade me Damon Arnett, I'm in. I will give up stuff for him. 3rd and 6, Malik gets sacked. This is a 59-yard kick. Are we going to go for the field goal? Honestly, why not? We lead by 14. Octi should trade for DeAndre. I have a bazillion receivers. Why would I do that? 59-yard kick for Fox. I think that's short. It is. So it remains a 2-score game. We're not going to sim quite yet because it's only a 14-point game. The Jags could come back. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins isn't even a criminal anyway. Deshaun Watson is. He would be a good fit. Malik has been good today. He's had a few really good throws. Deshaun plays for the Lions, so that'd be quite the interdivision trade. And he'd be obviously a perfect fit. Might have to talk to Eastmoo about Kareem Hunt. Hunt and a first-round pick for Najee Harris. Who says no? Although Najee hasn't done jack today, but that's because we barely ran the ball. You will trade me Herbert for Malik. I don't want that. I don't want Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's not that good. He's not that guy, pal. Trust me, he's not that guy. Steroid using isn't a crime, though. That's not, like, illegal. That's illegal in terms of the NFL, but DeAndre Hopkins isn't going to jail for using steroids. Gonna build a time machine, go back, and sign Aaron Hernandez. Yes. Who needs Michael Pittman when you got Aaron Hernandez? I will trade you Hector for... Oh, you're not doing that. I'm not doing that either, but I don't think you would either. 3rd and 11, they run it. Yeah, they got to go for it here. They would be kind of dumb to kick. Yeah, they are going to go for it. That's the right call. They also got to pass it, so you can't really give it to Derrick Henry. Stroud is just going to say F it, take a shot for the end zone, and he way overthrows his target. Fun fact, Malik Willis almost got traded to the Ravens. That's right. Well, not really almost. We weren't that close to a deal, but we had discussed it. And then Malik Willis started playing really well, and then I was like, no, this is a bad idea. Which I'm happy I didn't. Can we sim? Here's this. If we get a first down on this next play or two, we'll sim. How about that? Hernandez shooting through the defenses. Hernandez can really jump high. He's got good hang time. That was a really messed up joke. I apologize. We're going to sim now. I should get Alvin. Alvin Kamara works. Pokemon, you willing to slide me Kamara? 3rd and 10. We don't get it. Kick the field. Oh, he missed it again. We'll keep simming. I don't think the Jags can really come back. Nope. Yeah, this game's over. All right, so the Vikings win 17-3. Good win here. The defense played well. The offense was good enough. Malik Willis played pretty well. He outperformed C.J. Stroud, who Wasn't horrible, but I wouldn't say he was good. Making it... Najee Harris had 21 carries? I feel like he had like 10. Oh well, fair enough. Derrick Henry, 8 catches, 14 yards. Well, at least they tried to give him the ball. McLaurin played really well. Who's hurt? Oh, Nico's hurt. He got more touches than Michael Pittman. That's weird. Because Pittman is the starter ahead of him. 2 sacks for Doug Costin and Khalil Mack, 1 for Garrett. So our pass rush was really good. I think Kamara was in jail for like a day. But apparently he might get suspended. Good old snooze fest. It wasn't a snooze fest for me. My team played well. I enjoyed that. Why won't it... Oh, because I'm using the wrong controller. Hold on. Doug Costin, former OFL Raven legend. All right, it's sim time. Into week 6 we go. All right, let's see what happened. I don't have to worry about my team because we already won. Ooh, Dublin beats Orlando 34-28 in overtime. So Ronnie Stanley game goes to Dublin. Both Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes played very well. Jonathan Taylor was great too. Dallas Goedert with a good performance. Bernard Raymond allows 3 sacks, 2 of which were by Matthew Judon. Aviators beat the Bucks 41-23. Did Carson Strong play well? He did. Derek Carr wasn't bad either, but Carson Strong was better. Devontae Adams, 13 for 196. David Bell, 9 for 154. This game will never make it easy. Nope. EA Sports. Apple, what happened here? You guys scored 3 against the Bats. Dak Prescott played very well. Justin Herbert did not play very well. Apple's been bugging us to watch this team the whole game. They scored 3. Odell Beckham, 2 touchdowns. Deep feeling the Huskies won by a lot this week. I have a deep feeling you're wrong. The Bears. Well, the Huskies won, not by a lot, but they won. 30-27. So the Toronto Huskies are 5-0. God help us all. Matt Corral was slightly better than Hector, both pretty average. Did Stanley play? Stanley did play, yes. Although you missed him wanting to retire at the beginning of the stream, but he played. Chase Young with a big game. Bryce Hall with an interception. Okay, that's a lot of points. 52. So Joe Burrow's the real deal, huh? Yeah. Yeah, he is. Jeff Sims, 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he got picked off 4 times. Bijan Robinson, 129. Kamara scores twice. De'Ami Brown and Tyler Lockett both over 100 yards. So this Brooklyn offense is, they're good. They're real good. 2 interceptions for Kyle Duggar. Would you look at that after not getting traded because both trades got vetoed. One because of the vote, the other because Brooklyn didn't have the right picks. But Kyle Duggar comes in and gets 2 picks. Maybe Brooklyn shouldn't trade him. The Bison obviously lost. The Black Knights lose to the Saints 31-37. London's offense is quite good and their defense is quite horrible. I guess that's what happens when you have 69 overall starting a corner. Trey Lance and Jordan Love were both very good. Cortland Sutton, 13 for 191 and a touchdown. Well, London's pass rush was good. They outsacked New Orleans 4-0. Interception for Anthony Harris. You all said the first wasn't enough for Kyle Duggar. Yeah, we all look real smart, don't we? But Broncos are 1-4. This is definitely one of the bigger surprises of the year. I thought they were going to be good. Josh Allen outperforms Andy Morrison. David Montgomery scores twice. Marlon Mack scores 3 times. The Chiefs are good. What are they, 3-2, I think? 24-26. The Browns lose by 2 against the Ravens, who get revenge. Baltimore scored 5 in the 4th quarter. Did they have a safety to win the game? Russell Wilson was significantly better than Dan. Russ played really well, Dan played really bad, but Dan's team won. Ezekiel Elliott, 119-2. Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase both played very well. The Browns look like the significantly better team according to the box score, but the Ravens won the game. Trey Herndon, 2 interceptions. Who had the safety at the end of the game? No one. How did they score 5 points? That doesn't make sense. You have to get a safety to score 5. Dan has done poorly in all the games the Ravens have won, and he's played well in all the games the Ravens have lost. I don't get how that works, but there you go. The Cardinals lose to the Niners 20-23. Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields were both pretty average. Nick Chubb was solid. Nick Chubb was very solid. Got that solid Chubb, if you know what I mean. 1.5 sacks for Shaq Barrett. The Diablos lose to the Rams. LA went to their first game since week 1. About damn time. DJ Uiagalelei played very well. Baker Mayfield was solid as well. IT Thomas, nearly 100 yards. He outperformed Dalvin Cook, who's been really good this year. Jarvis Landry, 4 for 126 and 3. Yeah, EA literally handed the Ravens 2 points. If that's not like EA hating Nick, I don't know what. I don't know how you can just hand them 2 points. The Dolphins beat the Patriots with a big fourth quarter comeback. So New England is no longer undefeated. Did Boomy like curse them or something? Right when Boomy comes to coach, they lose? Dolphins aren't that bad, and neither are the Beats. So the AFC East appears to be quite good. And obviously the Jets, they always start horribly and play well. Atlanta beats the Giants 31-24. Mac Jones and Brady Boatwell both were... Brady Boatwell's been quite good this year. Mac Jones has too. Chris Godwin and Jonnu Smith both played really well. So the Huskies are the only undefeated team so far. We haven't seen the Pioneers yet. They're 4-0. If the Pioneers lose, then the Huskies are going to be the last one, which is how. They've scored at least 27 every game too. Their offense is really good. The Jets are 0-5, right where they want to be. Losing to the Seahawks 28-21. Kyler Murray outperforms Elijah Chisholm. Trey Sanders was really good, though. Brennan Ayuk over 100 yards. So now that the Jets are 0-5, they're going to go, what, 9-8, right? That's how the Jets work? The Tigers beat the Lions 28-6. The Lions are 1-4. How about that? Tom Brady was good. Deshaun Watson was not good. Christian McCaffrey scores 3 times. Jameson Williams is a typical Jameson Williams type of game. Hopefully this is the last time he gets 12 for 138 and a touchdown in Ford Field. Assuming this game was at Ford Field, which it was not. So my point makes no sense. The Pioneers beat the Panthers 35-14, so the only undefeated teams left are the Pioneers and the Huskies. Imagine saying that at the beginning of the year. Jerome Diggs was not great, but he outplayed Bryce Young. Joe Mixon is that dude, 144-2. There's your annual Jalen Reagor game. He gets 135 on 10 catches. New England lost. Pioneers won. The Rams won. The Ravens won. They've won 3 in a row. New Orleans won. Seattle won. Dublin won. Dublin's won 3 in a row? No, they've won 2 in a row. The Tigers won. And that brings us back to the Vikings. Where's the... Yeah, N'Keal Harry didn't have his 10 catches for 120 yards today. No wonder the Aviators lost. Players of the week, DJ Uiagalelei, Patrick Mahomes, Derwin James, and Kyle Duggar. Now we go to week 6. The Huskies and the Cardinals is the game. We finally get to see the 5-0 Toronto Huskies, which, that'll be something. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 2. I think that's the Cardinals, but I got the other controller here, so Hector can still pick his... Let me check. I just want to make sure that the Cardinals are the home team, because I don't remember. Yeah, Arizona's user. Okay. Oh, did I not show standings? That's my bad. Hold on. We'll do that first. Yeah, 85 overall is kind of good. So the AFC North appears to be very close. All 4 Oh, the Aviators won. Why did I say they lost? Oh, well, I'm dumb. But everybody's within 1 game. This division appears to be quite competitive. AFC South, the Wizards and Tigers lead. Jags certainly in the thick of things. Bison hoping the defense can get it together. New England leads the East, a game over the Beats and the Dolphins. And then in the West, the Pioneers, the only undefeated team in the AFC at 5-0. The Huskies and the Vikings, top of the North. Toronto a game ahead of us. Looks like it's going to be a 2-way race in the NFC North. Carolina and New Orleans lead in the South. Falcons a game back. The Giants are a game over everybody in the NFC East. And the Niners and Seahawks are a game ahead of the Rams and Cardinals in the West. All right, now we can get to today's game. So Hector and Denmark can both pick their jerseys. Hector doesn't really have many choices because, you know, Madden's dumb like that. My recommendation for Denmark is these beauties, the all-black Cardinal jerseys. Hector, your choices are a gray jersey or a white jersey. Wouldn't the white jersey be the home or the away jersey? Yeah, that was wrong. Pick the all blacks. Black and blue. Okay, so gray, black, same thing. All black. Denmark knows so much ball. That's not all black. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. The classic OFL Cardinal jerseys. Black tops, black bottoms, and shiny helmets. I don't know why those helmets are so shiny. Justin Fields looks weird in number 12. I don't know why. It kind of suits him. It kind of suits him. So we finally get to see, is this 5-0 Toronto Huskies team legit? Against a solid Cardinals team who's 2-3. They haven't gotten off to a great start, but they're certainly not bad. So Toronto opens up the ball. We get to see our meme of the year, Hector Estrada Jr., who has led his team to a 5-0 record by the grace of the Lord himself. Hector's gotten off to a great start this year. 10-to-1 interception ratio, over 300 yards per game. Hector knows a thing or two about ratios. Doing Hunger Games, Garrett got exploded in his own mind and you died of dysentery. That is how Garrett would die in the Hunger Games. Hector throws a pick. He almost did there. Why does Mike Evans wear 7? That is wrong. That just feels wrong. He doesn't rub me as a single-digit guy. Probably because he's big. I feel like single-digit guys are like more so your smaller receivers. Mike Evans shouldn't be wearing 7. That's 99. Nothing in Madden is 99% happening. I'm going to tell you that now. You could put a 99 overall team against a 0 overall team. There is less than a 99% chance the 99 team wins. Madden's just weird. So I would not count on anything with this game. If I have learned anything in the 4 years I've done OFL, Madden is unpredictable. It can be unfair at times, but it's also good like that. Hector killed Nick in your Hunger Sim games. Your Hunger Sim games. Yeah, I cannot speak. Oh, Hector launches a prayer to the 12. Nobody covered him, but that was still a really nice throw over to, I assume that's Trey Sermon? Yep. Hector out here stat padding already on the first drive. That was a nice run. I thought that's what Derrick Henry was going to do all game against us. Hector is banned from the server now. I think the Huskies jerseys are kind of nice. I feel like when you first look at them, they don't look great, but they kind of go together. These colors go well together. Like a gray and like a light blue. They just fit. I don't know why. They just fit well. Trey Sermon is going off. He's one of the lowest rated starting running backs in the league. Yet he's kind of like Alexander Madison in the sense that he's not all that highly rated, but he does really well in Madden Sim. Really well considering his rating. He's not like Joe Mixon or Derrick Henry out there, but Hector have me a boner. Oh, nice. Time to see Justin Fields as an Arizona Cardinal. I'm curious to see how Justin Fields plays today. Because he is good in watched games. He's better in watched than Sim. And now RMP kills Hector. Good. Can you make a draft custom player like Dan? Well, you also have to have like a punishment. Because Denmark stayed in a shed for pretty much a whole day. Nick got his guy because he stayed on light mode for 3 days. Poor soul. And then 2 more for Jack Jackson. So what, is that how people are going to get players in the draft class? By staying on light mode? For all I know, people could maybe be switching off light mode. I won't eat for... I can't let you starve. I'm not going to force somebody to not eat. That sounds like a bad idea. Nice sack. Quinnen Williams into the backfield. The Huskies in the fantasy draft, when Boomy was the coach, they did a really good job of focusing on the defense. Getting guys like Chase Young, Quinnen Williams, multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Fred Warner. I'll stay on light mode for a week. A whole week. Oh, that's a fumble. Looked like he was throwing it. That is a questionable call. One of the lowest... No, you got to be on the highest brightness. The highest brightness is the punishment. Fields would probably be a Raven if we just did watch games. Yeah, but Dan is better. 3rd and 31. Fields with a prayer, and it's hauled in by DeAndre Hopkins. What a throw. What a catch. How many players do you get for light mode for a week? 2. Highest for a month? You sure you want to do that? Yeah, everyone gets a custom player if they stay on light mode for a week. How about that? I'm going to regret that so much. Because for all I know, everyone could be lying. Bryce Hall is benched. Bryce Hall had a pick last week, though. No, not a day. It's got to be a week. A day isn't that much of a punishment. Light mode for 2... I'll give you a 99 if you're on light mode for 2 months. You're not doing it. For your own sake, good. I recommend you guys don't do this. It's really not worth it. Light mode is not fun. Except for that time when I literally traded light mode with Nick so I could keep Jeff Okuda last year. That was fun. Give me jail. I'm on light mode. Welcome to the dark... Or I guess the light side, I should say. 3:57 next Tuesday. If you run 2 miles a day at 6:30 and under, can you get a player? 2 miles, like each mile is under 6:30, or both of them combined? If it's both of them combined, then hell yeah, you can get a player. That's freaking impressive. I can maybe do 2/4 of a mile in that time, let alone 2 miles. Light mode isn't that bad. It's not fun. Light mode for a year. If you have light mode for a year, I don't know, I'll do something. Nice kick. Check OFL General. Flashbang. You have to have light mode for 5 months? Dear God. If I get light mode for a year, you make me the OFL commish. Fine. If anyone keeps on light mode for a whole year without changing it, you become a co-commish. Give me Terry McLaurin and Myles Garrett. I mean, for a year, yeah, it's kind of worth it. I'm promoting blindness and exercise. Yes, I am. And I will gladly admit it. I am promoting blindness and exercise. Each mile. Well, 6:30 each mile is still pretty impressive. At least for me. I don't think I could do that. You'll do that? All right. 3:59 on June 28th, 2023. If everyone keeps on light mode until then, you can become a co-commish. What if someone actually remembers and does it the whole year? I'm an elephant I will never forget. All right, perfect. You ain't doing all that. Well, you already are a co-commish. So unless you don't keep on light mode for the next year, you're going to be replaced by Nickinator because he's an elephant who never forgets. What about two? If you keep it on for 2 years, then I will personally come to your house and hand you a strand of my hair. First quarter in the book, 7-3, Huskies lead. Do you get to create a player if you run a mile, 2 miles a day at 6:30? Then yeah, 2 years easy. That means PC, TV, console, everything is light mode. I mean, I was more so referring to just Discord, but honestly, yeah, let's make it hard. Everything's on light mode. Eye doctors, when everyone comes to the office, they say it was because Octi told me I need to stay on light mode to get cold commish. I just called it cold commish. I mean co-commish. Yeah, I don't think eye doctors are really going to like me. Third and 7. Hector's going to heave it up for the end zone. It is nearly caught. That was a good throw. Can I get a player if I beat you one-on-one during the Octi meet and greet? I don't think anyone's beaten me one-on-one. Imagine if we had like a big OFL one-on-one tournament. Like everyone would play me. I think I would beat pretty much everybody. Maybe everyone needs light mode on to help you in sim. Maybe Madden doesn't like people who use dark mode. Maybe you have to put Discord on light mode and that way you'll win. Yeah, we could just have a big king of the court. That'd be fun. Although I would never get off the court because he ain't stopping me. You're a D. I never thought I'd beat you in Madden, although I only use your defensive line like half the time. But yeah, I never thought I'd beat you in Madden. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't beat a lot of people. You'd think the person who makes money off of playing Madden would be good, but that's definitely not the case. OFL meet and greet. You know what would be really fun? If we all watched an OFL stream live in the same room. That'd be like something. Imagine if we did that sometime. That would be interesting. That'd be really interesting. Then you all can see I'm not rigging it. Nice throw on 3rd and 6. Cardinals are moving it. If the Cardinals win, I'll change my name to Denmark's son. When I first found the channel, I almost stopped because you were D-line usering. I'm not good enough to always use the linebackers. I only use the linebackers in man. I don't like using them in zone. Give me your address. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll just give everyone my address. Right before the OFL stream starts, knock on the door. Why is there a line of 15 people in front of my door? We got to do it in Cancun. We're all flying out to Cancun, and we're going to do an OFL stream there. And then some of you guys are going to stay in Cancun because that's where your team belongs. We're going to fly everybody out to Cancun, and RNP gets to leave because his team has won the past 2 OFL Bowls, and everybody's going to stay. Nice touchdown for DeAndre Hopkins, so the Cardinals are winning. Don't have the money to fly to Cancun. Well, we're going to fundraise. We're all going to fundraise. We're all going to raise money as a group. OFL stream on Epstein Island. That's a perfect idea. Even better. That's even better in Cancun. He's definitely in. 1, 2. He's good. DeAndre Hopkins has had quite the day. Cancun or Epstein Island or wherever we're doing it, the OFL is coming. I will send $50. Thank you for your contributions, Mr. Denmark. He had his third leg was out of bounds? What? His third leg wasn't on the ground until he was in. If you know what I mean. In real life, OFL Pro Bowl in Hawaii. That'll be the first time we watch the Pro Bowl. The third foot was invisible. His third leg isn't invisible, though. Wink, wink. Octi is confirmed gay. I just pointed out that he has a third leg. It's a fact, isn't it? Yes, Amari Rodgers will be our special guest at the OFL Pro Bowl. I'm going to somehow have to get in contact with Amari Rodgers and convince him that I don't hate the Packers. And then he'll come, and that'll be funny. We should have a sophisticated joke or pun class. That would be something. Is the third foot in his pants? Yes, the third foot or the third leg is right in his pants. We don't need to go any deeper than that, if you know what I mean. Irv Smith is hurt. That's not ideal for Toronto. That's good news for us. I should be rooting for the Cardinals because Toronto's in our division. Go Cardinals. I'm normally used to rooting against the Cardinals whenever we watch them because, at least in OFL 20, they were our rivals. Now I have to root for them. Go. I think the last thing this league needs is Hector's team winning. That's the last thing we need. Yeah, remember, if the Cardinals win, which they are winning, Hector has to switch his name. Although I don't think Trey Sermon wants Hector to switch his name, because he has been quite good. Because you are so hilarious. The meat riding is crazy. What this league needs is a Hector religion. That sounds like a phenomenal idea. Denmark's team is beating you. So, yeah. There's Canada's finest, Chase Claypool. For 5. I forgot Chase Claypool was on this team, but Boomy wanted to pick all the Canadians. Hector backs up to the 25 for the end zone. Nice catch. I'm surprised he caught that. Who's 81? Is that Noah Gray? A tight end on the Chiefs? Is that his name? I think so. Noah Gray. Puts the Huskies ahead. This has been a fun game. Toronto so far looks pretty legit. Did not realize he could meat pride so hard, but apparently he can. As seen by wanting a Hector religion. So the Cardinals are going to try to take the lead back before halftime. That's a good start. Gain of about 6. Justin Fields is 11 for 12. You guys are talking about how you don't want to watch Justin Fields because he's mid. He's a beast in watched. Just did another Hunger Games sim, Monocti one, because of course he did. Yeah, of course he did. That seems pretty accurate. I feel like if we had an OFL Hunger Games, I'd be right at the bottom. I would be right at the bottom. Hector, our king. Yeah, this man just called him a king. And that ain't me riding, I don't know what is. Hector the Fun. I read that as Hector the Furry is first. I was going to say. Fields is going to run. We know he can move. He can move, outrunning Fred Warner. Hector's played really well today, but he hasn't even been the best quarterback in this game. Justin Fields has been arguably better. Both have been undoubtedly really impressive. Fields, under a ton of pressure, somehow gets it to DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know how Justin Fields is making some of these throws. This is absurd. He looks like a machine. How is Hugh G. Rection so tall? I think he's like 6'9", which, you know, makes sense. 69. Yeah. I would hope you would understand the reference. Okay, first and goal at the 5. They're out of timeouts, so he kind of needs to make sure he is... What was that? He threw it to the Husky player. That was a very questionable decision from Mr. Fields. He should look for DeAndre Hopkins. He's in the zone. Or run it. Or throw it away. There's 2 seconds. They're going to take the points. That's probably the right call. Yeah, at the 5-yard line. Yeah, I would take the field goal. That's the right call. So the Cardinals bring you within 1. 14-13. What has happened in this game? I haven't been paying attention. Hector's been playing really well, but Justin Fields has played even better. Why would they trade Fields? He's playing out of his mind. He's like 13 for 6. He's had some really good throws under pressure today. Hector about to cut Fred Warner. I'll take him. I mean, linebacker might be our biggest need. So, okay, we don't need to see that. Thank you, EA. All right, on to the second half. This game has more points than the first game did, and we're only at halftime. The Cardinals open up with the ball, down by 1. AFC Championship rematch from last year. That's right. I forgot about that. A game that ended up being really good. Both of the conference championship games, if you remember, were really good. Of course, the Diablos ended up winning. If Denmark wins, he's a racist. Denmark can't control if he wins, though. So I don't know if I would say he's racist. If I win, I become commish. How about no? How about no? How about if you go 17-0 and win the OFL Bowl, you could be a co-commish? How about that? I'll do that deal. Ethan Poshish with the hold. Nice hands, buckaroo. Nick Nader has influenced me to do my own Hunger Games. Where Octave's going to get dead last. Yeah, how is this dude making some of these throws? It's like Justin Fields is putting on a blindfold and he's still connecting. Imagine the league if Hector ran it. Yeah, that'd be a mess. That would be a big ol' mess. 3rd and 5. Back to Hopkins, who has been a machine today. The Cardinals aren't even trying to run the ball. I guess the Cardinals watched the Vikings last year and watched games and realized we probably shouldn't give it to Antonio Gibson because he's not very good and watched. We should just throw the ball the entire game, and honestly, it's working. I've done 3 Hunger Games sims, and Apple dies very early. Yeah, that seems pretty accurate. Third and 5. Can I check how hurt Chase? Who's Chase? I don't even know who. Oh, Chase Young? Did he get it? I didn't even notice he got hurt. Oh, okay. So it's not going to let me check. Has Antonio Gibson gotten the ball once today? I honestly don't think he has. Nope, another read option. Let me call the plays. That's not a thing. Yeah, it's not going to let us back out, so we won't be able to sim, which is probably fine because I imagine this game is going to stay close the whole time. Quentin Williams is now injured. Oh, boy. Huskies are losing all their good players. I was going to say except for Hector, but I don't know if I'm ready to call him good yet. Field sacked by Josh Uche, who has 3 sacks today. Who needs Chase Young and Quentin Williams when you have Josh Uche, Eagles franchise legend? I don't think Josh Uche ever's gotten 3 sacks in an Eagles franchise game, but he has today. I didn't realize he had 3. I didn't even know he was on the Huskies until 10 seconds ago. 3rd and 2. Gibson finally gets the ball, and he converts his 3rd carry of the game. Yeah, the Cardinals watched a lot of Vikings games last year, clearly. Clearly. They give it back to Gibson. And he gets 2. Or 3. Justin Fields waltzes in himself for the score. So the Cardinals lead by 5. I would expect them to go for 2. Yep. So they're going to try to lead by 7. That was a very ballsy throw. And they did not get it. So it's still a 5-point game. Walters is injured. Another player on the Toronto defense. So their entire defense is pretty much crippled. Put Jax and Spolk in the same district. Wish them luck. That's quite the duo. That definitely sounds like chaos. One of them is going to be arguing mid-sports takes, while the other one is arguing even more mid-sports takes. Might do nothing this season and go all out. I mean, free agency is going to be big this year, so every team's going to have the opportunity. Yeah, you can take. I think there's a standings tab in there, so once we show the standings at the end of the stream, you can copy all that down and put it in if you want. Who's more mid, Jax or Spolk? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Can I pick both? No, pick one. Oh, okay. I guess Jax, but they're both pretty much mid. Yeah, I guess you get the occasional good take from Spalk, but you don't. I mean, Jax was kind of right about Kyrie Irving today, but he was right for the wrong reason. Favorite movie of all time? I really don't have one. I don't know why. I just don't really have one. Chase Claypool's favorite movie is apparently The Red Zone. Is that a movie? I don't know. He gets the touchdown, so the Huskies are back on top. And now they're going to go for 2. Imagine Jax, Spalk, and Hector. That'd be quite the trio. Trey Sermon dives into the score, so the Huskies lead by 3. 22-19. 15 seconds left in the third. Trey Sermon is the better Najee. That's not even right, like, English. It don't make sense. Do I have an Xbox? I have a 360. So, yes, I do own an Xbox. Just saw a report saying Trey... How would the Phillies have money for that? How would they have enough money? Trey Turner, if Corey Seager's on a $330 million deal, I don't know how Trey Turner's going to make less. Because Trey Turner, there's nothing that he does that's worse than Corey Seager. I don't know how the Phillies are going to have enough money for a $330+ million deal. I mean, if they do, power to them. But that's a whole lot of money. I haven't blocked. We'll get rid of Didi for money, and we'll trade Castellanos to the top. Okay, I like that idea. Nice catch. DeAndre Hopkins is like a machine today. They're going to have to test him for steroids. 8 for 153. He has been quite good. Who do they have covering him? You know, if the Huskies still had Trayvon Diggs, I think Hopkins would have 253 yards. He was the first one killed. That makes too much sense. Why would you want Trayvon back? He would make this worse. 3rd and 5. The Cardinals get the stop. The Huskies get the stop. Fred Warner makes a play. Cobra killed Eastmo. Yeah, that sounds about right. So Cobra's our pick to win, right? Cardinals make the kick. We're tied at 22 with 6.5 to go in the quarter. Or end the game. Does Hector Estrada Jr. have what it takes? Although this isn't really a game-winning drive yet, there's still 6.5 minutes. Jack snacks a bottle of alcohol. Oh, boy. Several talent evaluators predict Trey Turner will sign with Philly. Love whoever they are if they're right. What happens when they're wrong? What's wrong with Eastmo? He's a special snowflake. He's a special individual. We'll say that. Hector gets sacked by Grady Jarrett. Drunk Jax just turns his takes into good ones. I think Drunk Jax might like Zion. Because Sober Jax has a spot in his head where Zion owns 3 real estate. Okay, what was that? What was that? Okay. Does Madden want Hector to win? Does Madden like Hector? Madden might like Hector. Hello, Bacher. How you doing? Through a bloodbath, the only person that's been killed, and that's Ismu. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hector's thrown 4 balls that should have been picked. I keep turning the interception sliders up. These defenders literally have bricks on their hands. Pepperjack begs Codeine to kill him, but Codeine refuses. What? Okay, you do you, Pepperjack. Hector and I aren't tied for the highest. Hector's a game ahead of us. We're 5-0, we're 4-1. What NFL player has 3 real estate in his head? Who does he think sucks, but doesn't suck? Garrett kills both Husker and Octi. Wow. Husker and I going out together. Based Garrett. I feel like Garrett would either win or he would die in like the stupidest way. This is why I need Greg Dortch. Yeah, exactly. Let's get this man good old Gregory Dortch. You would never see EA do this for me. That's true. That's definitely true. Nickinator attacks me, but I escape. Based Nickinator. Now at the 8, Trey Sermon gets the touchdown, so the Huskies take the lead with 3 minutes to go. Exactly. Wouldn't be the first time you've traded Nick before. They get why do they gotta get Colin? I feel like if there was a Hunger Games, Colin would just be in the corner, like watching the show unfold. He'd just be like peeking on in the corner, and no one notices him. And then he sneaks from behind and gets someone. We're seeing a rare Hector. The game's not over. This isn't a Hector W yet. I would never betray Nick. That's so rude. Yeah, never. Totally. Hey, Antonio Gibson caught the ball. He didn't get anything, but he caught it. That's a fantasy point right there. Fields heaves up a prayer. It is... Oh, my God. Oh, he dropped it. I thought he caught that. I was going to say, how are they making some of these catches? Now 3rd and 10. Give me something here, Justin. Heaves it up for guess who? DeAndre Hopkins, and it's overthrown. And they're going to punt it. Interesting. They trust their defense to get a stop. See if Trey Sermon can finish off the game. It's not over quite yet. Hey, Arizona defense, can you guys, stop him, please? I don't really want our rivals to be 6-0, so that'd be helpful. That's not a good start. They're not going to call a timeout, so I imagine we're going to go to the 2-minute warning. Yep, 2 minutes to go. The Huskies lead by 7. Very close to 6-0. And Trey Sermon's playing well today. The Cardinals haven't really been able to stop him. Awful job by Zona. If Arizona went for it and didn't get it, the game would be over pretty much. So, by punting, they trust their defense, which, yeah, that does kind of look like a mistake at this point. Unless they get a stop here on 3rd and 1, I've got to assume the Huskies are going to run it. 3rd and 2. Okay. Yeah, they should just run the ball with Trey Sermon. He does not get it. Arizona's defense gets the stop. You could make the argument that Toronto should go for it. I would go for it. No balls. They're going to punt it. I think the Huskies should have went for it. But they're going to play it safe. They down at the 10. What a punt. What a punt, but in all lowercase. F in the chat for Garrett. Rip. This is why I should call plays. This is why calling plays is not a thing. You play to win the game. True dat. So now, in response, we need the Huskies to lose. Because F them. And with how some of these Justin Fields throws today, ooh, flag. With some of these Justin Fields throws today, Arizona certainly could score, even without any timeouts. They are going to move back. They can't really move back far, but they move back to the 5. Andrew Poole with the hold. Denmark camouflages himself in the bushes. Can he camouflage? He can camouflage himself in a shed. Yes, you guys lost week 5, I think by a lot. It was against the good Pioneers team who's 5-0, but 4th and 11 for the ball game. Fields is going to heave up a prayer, probably for DeAndre Hopkins. Tipped and incomplete. So the Toronto Huskies, who won 5 games last year, are 6-0. And Hector's ego is probably the size of the moon. So the Cardinals are going to fall to what, 2-4? Yeah, that was a questionable drive there at the end. An undeserved win for the Huskies, never punished for playing not to lose. Madden seems to like Hector, clearly. Madden doesn't like a lot of people, but if this season has taught us anything, Madden likes Hector. But regardless if Madden likes the Huskies or not, apparently they're legit. After starting the year 5-0 in the sim, they have a strong performance here in a watched game over a pretty solid Cardinals team, despite Justin Fields playing really well. Both quarterbacks played really well. Hector Strada Jr. apparently is the real deal. 304 yards and 3 touchdowns. Justin Fields, again, he was really impressive. He had some throws that were something. Trey Sermon and Justin Fields both ran it quite well. DeAndre Hopkins was insane. Noah Gray, 7 for 94. Yeah, Irv Smith got injured. Noah Gray comes in and he played really well. Love seeing the Cardinals lose. I don't love seeing the Huskies win, although Josh Uche had 3 sacks. Eagles franchise legend. If it had been Carolina instead of the Huskies, the punt would have been blocked, returned for a touchdown, and you would have fumbled on the ensuing kickoff. All right, so now it is sim time for week 6. Cardinals have a bye week. We're now starting to get to the point of the season where teams are going to have bye weeks. That includes the Kansas City Chiefs, who had a bye week this week. The Diablos murdered the Shamrocks 45-7. So I guess the Shamrocks coach was right. They did get killed. Baker Mayfield was oh my lord, he threw 6 picks. That's a lot. This is the same guy who just dominated against the Wizards last week, a really good Wizards team. I don't think I've ever seen 6 interceptions in a game in Madden Sim. And it's not a bad quarterback, it's Lamar Jackson. Wow, okay, that's something. So who had all the interceptions? Is this another scenario where, like last year when Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had 4? Keanu Neal had 2. And he plays for Mexico City. What am I thinking? Raheem Person, Foye Oluokun, Leo Chanel, Jamar Johnson, Mike Edwards, and Carlton Davis all in 1. So that's what, 8 combined interceptions? Good God. I've never seen a quarterback throw 6 picks. The Dolphins beat Seattle. Miami's good. They're 4-2. Sam Howell has had a pretty strong year. He outplays Kyler Murray, who was also pretty good. Keenan Allen had a big game for the Seahawks. I've been preying on Lamar Jackson's downfall. There you go. I think Lamar Jackson had 6 interceptions all of last year. And he had 6 today. Speaking of 6, that's how many wins the Pioneers have. They, like the Huskies, are 6-0 after scoring 35 points in the second half. Jerome Diggs played really well. Must not watch me play Madden or NCAA then. Joe Mixon with 3 more touchdowns. Joe Mixon looks like a real MVP candidate again this year. The only difference is the Pioneers are probably going to have a better record than they did last year. The Washington football team, or I guess the Commies, they lose another one, 42-30. The Browns scored 35 in the second half, despite Washington outgaining them in every stat. Big episode for Russell Wilson, another 3-touchdown game. Javonte must have gotten hurt. Kylan Hill wasn't that bad, though. I mean, the yards per carry is bad, but he scored twice. DK Metcalf also scores twice. Yannick Ngakoue, 2 sacks in the loss. Yannick Ngakoue's had a good year. The Niners are also having a good year. They win 3 in a row. They beat the winless Jets 23-17. The Niners are 4-2. Aaron Rodgers hasn't even been good. That's the weirdest part. Like, the Niners are winning games in spite of him. He had a worse passer rating than Lamar Jackson, who threw 6 picks. So the Jets are 0-6. The Jets have always started off badly, but I don't know if they've ever started off this badly. Again, knowing the Jets, they're going to find a way to make the playoffs, but at 0-6, I can't say I feel good about it. Oh boy, 49-10. We're having a lot of weird games this week. The Black Knights smother the Giants. Jordan Love with 6 touchdowns. Jordan Love has had a quietly really good year. We've been waiting for him to figure it out. He didn't perform well with the Niners or the Beats, but now in London, he's been really good. Jets got us right where they want to be. That's what we said when they were 0-3, and 0-4, and 0-5. 0-6 might be too much to climb out of, but if anybody can do it, it will be the Jets. The Jaguars lose to the Ravens, who have won 4 in a row. Yeah, I would say Russ is an MVP contender, probably. But the Ravens have won 4 in a row. Did Dan play well? Oh, he kind of did. He threw for a low amount of yards, but he was efficient. So the Ravens appear to finally be kind of good. Ezekiel Elliott had a good stream today. Mid was the definition of Jordan Love. Now he's better than mid. The Lions are 1-5. They lose to a bad Bucs team, 29-14. Derek Carr and Deshaun Watson both played fine. What is happening to Detroit, though? The Lions have been legitimately good throughout all of OFL 22, but this year they look horrible. Name the top 5 quarterbacks in Sim. I would have to see the stats. We can look at some of the quarterback stats at the end of the stream, just so we can get an idea of who might be an MVP contender. Now that we're like a third of the way through the year, I think we can start to really talk about the MVP, as Panthers beat the Bats 24-17. Both quarterbacks were pretty bad. Bryce Young did not have a very good stream today, but his team won here. Jalen Reagor has had a good stream today. He has been very impressive for Carolina. I don't know why he's so good in this game, but he is. Yeah, we can check out Andrew Van Ginkel as well. Wow, New England lost again. Are the Patriots frauds? Did Boomy curse them? They were 4-0 without Boomy, and now with him, they are 0-2. Matt Corral, 3 touchdowns. He outperformed Trevor Lawrence. Ice Tray stalks Apple. Why would you stalk an 8-year-old? That's a good question. James Robinson, 2 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs played well. Selling my soul to the devil. You're selling your soul to the Mexico City Diablos? The Pioneers have a bye week. Interesting. Oh, great. The Rams beat us 35-21. Malik Willis played really well. It's my quarterback versus my favorite quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, who also played really well. So it was our defense Who struggled, I see? Terry McLaurin, Jarvis Landry. Wow, Rashad Bateman even played really well. So Malik Willis had his best game of the year, and we still lose. So the Vikings now at 4-2 are 2 games behind the Huskies. So basically we won the division. It's week 6. Let's calm down. The Ravens obviously won. The Saints had a bye week. The Seahawks lost. The Shamrocks lost. The Tigers beat the Wizards. Octi, the biggest DJ Uyunglele stand there is. Fitting that DJ dominates against my team. Both Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady did not throw a single touchdown or a single interception. That's odd. Christian McCaffrey played well. That's also somewhat odd, considering he is the most inconsistent player in Madden Sim really ever. So both of these teams are 4-2, right? Or did the Wizards lose last week? Yeah, the Wizards are 3-3. We obviously lost. I didn't skip anybody, did I? Nope. The Aviators had a bye week. The Bats lost. His name is Ukulele. The Beats lose to the Broncos 22-25. I feel like we already saw the score. No, we didn't. Who did we use? We used the Cardinals. Yeah, no, so we didn't see this one. Andy Morrison Jr. plays well. He outperforms Joe Burrow, who probably is the MVP, even though Brooklyn's only 500. Bijan Robinson played well again. The Bison had a much-needed bye week. The Black Knights won, obviously. The Broncos won. The Browns won. The Bucks won. And that brings us back to the Cardinals. Is Andy Morrison the Offensive Rookie of the Year? It's close. I would probably give the edge to Dan as of now, but I guess there's an argument. We'll start with standings. How about that? So, we still have 2 undefeated teams, and we still have the winless Jets. By division, the Ravens take the sole lead in the AFC North after Lamar Jackson's 6-interception performance. The Browns are now tied for second. The Tigers lead the South over Wizards. The Dolphins and Patriots tied in the East. Rough week in the AFC East, minus the Dolphins. So, pretty good week for the Dolphins. The Pioneers are 6-0. The Diablos are not too far behind at 4-2. Does nobody have one loss? Yeah, I don't think anybody has one loss. It's either 0 or more than 1. The Huskies are 2 games ahead of the Vikings. The Panthers now have sole possession of first place in the South. The Black Knights and Giants are tied for the lead in the East. And then the San Francisco 49ers lead the West. Yeah, nobody has one loss. It's the 2 undefeated teams and then a big jump of 10 teams who have 2. I think I forgot to show the injuries last stream, so we'll do that now so I don't forget. And then we'll get to stats and stuff. Anything new? I checked after the stream last week. There weren't any super big injuries, so we'll see what happened here in weeks 5 and 6. The Huskies lost their 2 tight ends, but that doesn't matter because Noah Gray was very good in the watched game. Eric McCoy broke his ribs. Leonard Williams dislocated ankle. Dalton Reisner, partial PCL tear. Danielle Hunter tore his quad. That's new. Derek Stingley tore an labrum. Henry Ruggs got hurt again? Huh. So, wait. Hold on. Let me see this. He got injured, he played, and he got hurt again. Not ideal, Henry. Not ideal. Xavier McKinney torn bicep. Jonah Jackson torn quad. David Montgomery broken collarbone, so we'll get to see Cookie Banana, the 5'5" running back, start. You guys are 3-3. Jordan Love just threw 6 touchdowns. Javonte Williams torn labrum. He's out for 2 weeks. And that is everybody. Should I make Noah Gray my tight end 1? He's probably your only healthy tight end on the roster at this point. Players of the week for week 6. Jordan Love, Sam Howell, Josh Uche, and Brandon Joseph. All right, so who's the MVP through 6 weeks? Is it Hector? Is it Burrow? Is it somebody else? The highest passer rating among starters is Joe Burrow, followed by Jerome Diggs. And the Pioneers are 6-0. Maybe we need to give Jerome Diggs more respect. Lamar robbed for player. He should have won AFC Defensive Player of the Week. After that, they got Brady, Lance. DJ's that high? DJ's been good today, but I feel like he's been kind of underwhelming. No, he's had 3 games before today over 100. Okay, never mind. All right, where were we? Mahomes does not have the pick yet. Where's Mahomes? Yeah, 17 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jared Goff also doesn't have a pick. He hasn't played since week 1, but point remains. We have a lot of guys over 100. Even Dan. Who is at the bottom? It's probably still CJ Stroud. Brady Boatwell has been quietly pretty good. Here we go to the bottom. And it's Aaron Rodgers! How are the Niners winning games? He's been horrible. 75.4 passer rating, the worst among starters. 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 56% completion percentage. He sucks, yet they're winning games. You are breathing into your mic. I'm not that close to the mic. So, no. We can go through some of the other stats as well. We might as well. Dalvin Cook, the rushing leader, Joe Mixon, and Derrick Henry. All 3 of these guys are probably in the MVP race. Najee is in 4th. Remember when you guys were all calling Najee trash last stream? Yeah, what happened to that? Devontae Adams leads in yards by a very comfortable margin. Devontae Adams is probably an Offensive Player of the Year candidate, even though his team hasn't been good. Adams also leads in catches by a lot. So he's pretty much the OFL version of Tykeem Keon right now. But he doesn't lead in touchdowns. That's Jarvis Landry with 7. Am I going to pick Hector in the MVP race? If he keeps playing this well, yeah. Broderick Jones has allowed the most amount of sacks. Defensively, Van Ginkel plays for the... Wasn't he traded in the Tyron Smith deal? No, that's Ben Burr-Kirvin. Okay, I got my double-named linebackers mixed up. Here's Van Ginkel. The Vikings must have dominated this stream since Najee is so good. I mean, we didn't do poorly. We won 1 game. But as long as Najee does well, then I'm good. As long as I have a good running back, I'm happy. Because I have not really had that in OFL 22. Or at least I haven't had consistency at running back. The sack leaders, only 6.5. Montez Sweat and Brian Brzee. TJ Watt and Cam Hayward with 6. Interceptions, number of guys with 2. For the NFC, number of guys with 2. Nobody has more than 2 picks. It's a little bit surprising, considering Lamar Jackson just threw 6. Zadarius Smith is the sack leader of 7. I'm surprised there aren't any outlandish sack numbers. Vikings finished last in the NFC North, but Najee goes for 3,000 yards. I honestly wouldn't be that upset. As long as the Huskies don't win the North, which, I mean, this year, it's going to be us or them. But in general, I'll take a 3,000 year from Najee, even if it means we finish in last. How many kickers are perfect? Tyler Bass is not perfect because he's missed an extra point. Josh Lambo, Theo Harvey, Chris, not going to say his name, Evan McPherson, Harrison Butker, and Jason Sanders. Who's the worst? Dick Fartis and Greg Zerline, followed by Jack Fox. That makes me sad. Check Khalil Lawrence. Okay, I can do that. Why is Jack Fox the worst kicker in the league this year? I don't like that. Here is Mr. Lawrence. Only 9 yards a catch. Nick Chubb leads the team in receiving yards. That's a plot twist I was not really expecting. Real life and Nickinator just died to a hurricane. So Khalil Lawrence and his coach both go out together. How sweet. Let's look at weeks 7 and 8. I'm going to have a waiver video up within the next couple of days, so that way you'll be able to sign your kicker. So Bubba wins. Good for Bubba. We have the Andy Morrison versus Dan game. That's fun. Jack Fox being the worst kicker is divine retribution for Najee being good. I'm okay with Najee being average if Jack Fox is good again. Please, Madden. Please. So I think that covers it. We did stats, injuries, standings, schedule. I don't think I forgot anything. I think we are all good. So that is going to wrap up weeks 5 and 6. Next time, we've got week 7 and 8, which will probably be later this week. Maybe Friday. I don't really know yet. We'll see. The trade deadline will not be after this coming stream. Usually I have the trade deadline after around week 10. So I think we're going to have 2 more streams, then the trade deadline, and then we're going to get through the second half of the season pretty quickly. I think we're going at a pretty good speed so far for this season. And obviously, once we get to the second half of the year, I usually go even faster with the 4-week streams. So yeah, we're moving at a good speed here. I still plan on getting through another 2 seasons after this one. So I think we're in a good spot. That'll wrap it up. Hope everybody enjoyed. I can't speak English right now. We'll be back within a couple days for 7 and 8. Peace out.